Have you ever wondered what fuels the relentless drive of those fighting for equality? Their strength, their determination, their unyielding belief in a just world, all are shaped by the inspiring words of leaders who have come before them. Imagine a world where every voice matters, where every individual is valued for who they are, regardless of their race, religion, gender, or socioeconomic status. This is not a utopian fantasy, but a vision sought by countless activists and leaders dedicated to bringing about equality for all. Among these influential figures stands Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a beacon of hope and resilience, a tireless advocate for civil rights, and a source of inspiration for millions. His words continue to resonate, especially one quote that speaks volumes about the interconnectedness of justice. "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." This quote is not merely a statement, it's a call to action, a plea for empathy and understanding. It challenges us to look beyond our immediate surroundings and recognize that an act of injustice inflicted upon one individual or community reverberates throughout society. It underscores the reality that our destinies are intertwined, that the denial of basic rights to a single person undermines the very concept of justice for all. Just as a single thread pulled can unravel an entire fabric, inequality in one corner of the world threatens the collective fabric of our humanity. It serves as a stark reminder that the fight for justice is not confined to geographical boundaries or specific communities. It's a global struggle, a shared responsibility, driven by the universal values of fairness, dignity, and respect. Dr. King's words remind us that inequality anywhere diminishes the fabric of our humanity. They implore us not to turn a blind eye to injustice, but to confront it, challenge it, and ultimately, change it. Because in the end, the fight for equality isn't just about creating a fairer world for some, it's about creating a just world for all. Next, we journey to the southern tip of Africa, to the wisdom of a man who turned a nation around. This man, the venerable Nelson Mandela, once said, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love." These words hold a profound truth about the nature of hate and love. They suggest that hate is not an inherent trait, but a learned behavior. It's not something that we're born with, but something that is instilled in us through our experiences, our environment, and the people around us. This reality is both unsettling and hopeful. Unsettling because it means that the hate we see around us, the inequality and discrimination, is a product of our own making. It's not an inevitable part of life, but a result of our choices and actions. But it's also hopeful because if hate is learned, then it can be unlearned. Mandela's words inspire us to take responsibility for our attitudes and actions. They encourage us to examine our beliefs, to question the prejudices we may have unknowingly adopted. But the quote doesn't stop there. It also speaks of the power of love. If people can be taught to hate, then they can also be taught to love. Love in this context is more than just a feeling. It's a commitment to understanding, to empathy, to treating others with kindness and respect, regardless of their skin color, background, or religion. Teaching love involves challenging the systems and structures that perpetuate hate and inequality. It requires us to stand up against injustice, to speak out against discrimination, to fight for a world where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Mandela's words are a call to action. They're a reminder that we have the power to change the narrative, to replace hate with love, to build a more equal and just world. Mandela's message of love and unity serves as a guiding light in the fight against discrimination and prejudice. Let's keep his wisdom close to our hearts as we continue this important journey. Returning to Dr. King, we are reminded of the power and responsibility of the silent majority. Dr. King once said, "The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people, but the silence over that by the good people." This quote underscores the importance of using our voices to challenge oppression and cruelty wherever they exist. Dr. King's words are a stark reminder that silence can be as dangerous as the acts of oppression themselves. When we choose to remain silent in the face of injustice, we inadvertently become complicit in the perpetuation of that injustice. The good people Dr. King refers to are those who are aware of the injustices happening around them, yet choose not to act. They may be well-intentioned, but their silence allows the status quo to continue unchallenged. As the saying goes, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. This quote calls on us to reflect on our own actions and inactions. Are we using our voices to stand up against inequality, or are we part of the silent majority that allows it to persist? It's a powerful call to action, urging each of us to take responsibility in the fight against inequality. Dr. King's message is clear: silence is not an option. We must speak up and use our voices to challenge the systems of oppression that perpetuate inequality. We must not be bystanders in the face of injustice, but active participants in the fight for equality. The fight against inequality is not just about the actions of a few, but the collective efforts of many. It's about breaking the silence, raising awareness, and instigating change. It's about using our voices to amplify the voices of those who are often unheard. In the end, it's not just about fighting against inequality, but also about building a world where equality, justice, and human rights are upheld for all. Dr. King's words urge us to break the silence and stand up for what is right, even in the face of adversity. Once again, we draw from Nelson Mandela's wisdom, illuminating the path to true equality. The fourth quote we explore today is one that speaks to the core of our discussion. Mandela once said, "Inequality can be done away with only by establishing a new society where men and women will enjoy equal rights." This quote is not just a statement, it's a call to action, a blueprint for a better world. Mandela was not just dreaming of a utopia, he was setting a goal for humanity. He was challenging us to rethink our societal structures, to question the norms that have allowed inequality to persist, and to envision a world where everyone has equal rights. The task is not easy, but it is necessary. It's about more than just changing laws, it's about changing mindsets. It's about recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every person, regardless of their gender, race, religion, or socioeconomic status. It's about creating a society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, not just survive. Mandela's words remind us that change is possible, but it requires action. It requires us to challenge the status quo, to stand up against injustice, and to work tirelessly for equality. It requires us to dream big, to envision a world where everyone is treated with dignity and respect, and then to do the hard work of making that vision a reality. Inequality isn't an insurmountable obstacle, it's a man-made construct, and just as it was created, it can be dismantled. Mandela's vision of a society built on equality serves as a guiding light, a beacon showing us the way forward. It's a vision that inspires us, motivates us, and gives us hope. So let's take Mandela's words to heart. Let's strive to create a new society, one where everyone enjoys equal rights. Let's work to dismantle systems of oppression and build a world where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Mandela's vision of a society built on equality inspires us to dismantle systems of oppression and create a world where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Lastly, we revisit Dr. King, whose words serve as a call to action for us all. He once said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." This powerful quote embodies the essence of activism. It is not just about fighting for what's right, but also about breaking the silence on issues that matter. Silence, in this context, signifies complacency. It signifies a tacit acceptance of the status quo, even when the status quo is unjust. This quote serves as a stark reminder that our silence can be as deadly as the injustices we fail to challenge. Dr. King's words are not just an indictment of silence, but also a call to action. He implores us to use our voices to speak out against injustice, to stand up for those who are marginalized and oppressed. He emphasizes that it's not just about speaking out, but also about what we choose to speak out on. The things that matter that Dr. King refers to are the issues that impact our collective humanity. They are the injustices that erode the fabric of our societies, the inequalities that widen the divide between the haves and the have-nots, the prejudices that sow seeds of discord and disharmony. Speaking out on these issues is not just a duty, it is an act of moral courage. It is about standing up for what is right, even when it is unpopular or inconvenient. But Dr. King's quote is not just a call to speak out, it is also a call to take action. Speaking out is just the first step. It must be followed by concrete actions that challenge the status quo and drive positive change. Dr. King's words compel us to speak out against injustice and take action to create positive change in our communities. They remind us that our lives have significance, that our voices have power, and that our actions can make a difference. Let his words inspire us to break the silence and stand up for the things that matter. As we reflect on these powerful quotes, it's evident that the fight against inequality is more than just a battle. It's an unyielding commitment to justice, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, and a call to action that resonates across generations. Each quote we've shared today, from the profound words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to the inspiring messages of Nelson Mandela, serves as a beacon, guiding us towards a world where equality is not just an ideal, but a reality. Dr. King's quotes remind us that silence in the face of injustice is complicity, and that we have a moral obligation to stand up for what is right. His words challenge us to examine our own behavior, to question our complacency, and to take action against inequality, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. Nelson Mandela's messages, on the other hand, speak to the transformative power of love and unity. They remind us that hatred is learned, and that we have the capacity to unlearn it, to replace it with love, and to foster a society where everyone, regardless of their skin color, religion, or background, is treated with dignity and respect. So, what can we do with these words of wisdom? How can we apply them to our lives? It's simple. We take them to heart. We use them to fuel our actions. We remember that the fight for equality is not a sprint, but a marathon, and that every small step we take in the right direction brings us closer to the finish line. So, as we conclude this journey through the inspirational quotes of leaders in fighting inequality, let's not just admire their words. Let's live them. Let's embody them. Let's make a commitment here and now to do our part in the fight for equality and justice, because every voice matters, every action counts, and together we can build a brighter and more equitable future for all. And remember, if you found these quotes inspiring, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more inspirational content. Let's continue this journey together, one quote at a time.